back in Chicago just in time for St. Patrick's Day. Right now we're downtown, and as you can tell, it's very packed for downtown on the weekend. And right now, I'm really excited to see the Green River, which is when like every year they dye the river green. And like earlier when we were down that way, I was like, oh, it's kind of disappointing. The river doesn't look green. It just looks like a dirty river. But actually, we're headed that way towards the lake, and it's like a lot brighter green there. So we're here on Dearborn Street, and
I can't get mine around mine.
the river behind it.
Oh, okay.
It's great.
What?
But I love you right behind me. It's like really, really.
I'm sorry, I come from the
And I mean, I don't.
Crazy.
And those are all the parties happening down there by the Riverwalk. So like the restaurants and. And there's just like a ton of people. And then a lot of people in green on that side too. There's a shamrock suit jacket. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Pretty crazy here. Hi everyone. So this Sunday we are here at REI on the north side of Chicago. It's the first time we've been in REI not in California. We used to spend a lot of time at REI just like looking at gear, picking out bags. It was like our second home. Haven't done too much of that recently, but today we had some time and we want to check out some new gear for some future trips we might be taking. And so I thought, you know, I'd take this opportunity to go through like what we look for in a travel backpack, and kind of like walk through one of the bags they have on display right now. So this is the Osprey Ozone 46. We traveled with the 32 version of this bag quite extensively 2 years ago. But they didn't have the 36 or the 32 on the shelf, and so I thought I'd grab out this one and take a look at it. The construction is a little bit different from what we had last time, or from the 32. I think it might actually be a little better. So on the front of the pack, we start off with like this zippered section for like passports, paperwork, pens, keys. This section it's pretty short. It only extends to here, whereas like in the 32, it extended all the way down, which wasn't that helpful. So I'm glad that it's pretty short. You don't have to dig too far to get your stuff. And then here at the bottom of the pack, there's a zippered compartment. So it's like a sleeping bag compartment that's found in bigger hiking bags, but this looks pretty convenient. I could probably fit, you know, like most of like my clothes and stuff in this, or at least like a couple pairs of shoes in this section. So this is like a nice division. On the side of the bags, we have two deep-ish mesh pockets for like water bottles and things. And it's like that on both sides. And then we also have another compartment here, which is for electronics. It's like tablets or sunglasses, things that you don't want to get scratched. It's padded a little bit here, so yeah, your screen doesn't get too scratched and it doesn't go in that deep. This pocket was also similar to the one that they had on the Ozone 32. Looks like about the same size. So I think between the 46 and the 32, the major difference was like this thing is no longer like super deep. It's like half and half, which I actually kind of like the way that it's been divided. And then the main compartment is really big. This bag expands like pretty wide. The capacity is about 46 liters, which is more than I I would like to carry, but the silhouette is really slim, and there's compression straps like here and here so that once you've packed all your gear, you can really compress it down and have it like sit against your body. And so this main compartment, we used it for like clothes and pretty much everything. There is a padded laptop sleeve here. It looks like for a pretty decently sized laptop, and a zippered compartment here, I guess for like papers and things like that, which is what we used it for. It's pretty thin material, but we don't have to put that much stuff in it. So yeah, it's pretty deep, you can store a lot in here. And it looks like the something, I think maybe the straps can actually get tucked away in this version, so that if you're like taking on a plane and you want to keep your straps together, and you can tuck that in. And they've also got like handles, so you can like carry it. It's kind of just like a travel bag. So I guess like upon closer inspection, this one's actually like really nice. Other things that we look for in travel bags, I guess for me personally, is something that's relatively lightweight. The Ozone, this one is, I'm trying to see if there's like a weight. It doesn't say how heavy it is, but it's pretty light, and the capacity is pretty big for 46 liters. Which, I mean, I usually prefer not to carry that much stuff, but it is also nice to have extra space for, like, you know, if you pick up random things along the way. Like, we picked up an extra sleeping bag for a trip to Mongolia, and it actually fit into this bag, or the 36 or 32 version of this, which was nice. Other things we look for in travel bags, I prefer black. The hiking bags tend to be really brightly colored, you know, bright teal and purples and such like that. So I like that this bag is black. I like that it's got a relatively thin silhouette and compression straps, so you can like really tighten everything up once you've packed it. And yeah, that's pretty much what we look for in travel bags. Things that like have a lot of different. Some people like different compartments. I like to keep things organized in like a packing cube. Another thing to consider is if you want a top loading or a, I guess like flat panel opening bag, because top loading bags are traditionally more like hiking bags, and that means like to get something at the bottom of your pack, you have to open up from the top and dig into everything, like take out everything to get something at the bottom. So I do like bags like this that have like this zippered compartment at the bottom, so you can like keep things that are like things that you need to reach, or you know, even just to like keep clean and dirty clothes separate. So this compartment is pretty handy. And I guess another thing on this bag is that, so this version does have a bit of a hip belt, but it's still not very robust. The Ozone 32, like the hip belt was even less than this, so that was like one thing that, although I like the size of the pack, I guess I struggled with, because the hip belt was not very robust. Whereas like on hiking bags, they tend to be a lot more like structured and stiffer, so that they do give you that, they just distribute the weight and it gives you a lot more support. So that's like one thing if you're only looking at a travel specific bag. But I think the 46 is probably still too big for me to use as like a you know, just like a work travel bag. It's a little bit big. I think my preference would still be to have the 32 or somewhere around that size. But like I go back and forth, because sometimes I do take trips that are longer and need more capacity, so you know, that's just like a personal preference. So hopefully this was helpful. I mean, the REI staff are just like so great at helping you like pick out bags, and there's like different kinds of weights that you can stuff into the backpacks to test like how the bag will feel once you've loaded it up with a bunch of gear. And there's a pretty good variety of bags here for you to pick from and see like which one fits you best.